Welcome back to the Mindbender Mental Performance Podcast. I'm your host, Kowalski. Thank you so much for joining me today as we break down the book breakdown mini seminar. The book, by the way, in today's podcast, especially dedicated to my guy, CG, Caleb Gray, and of course, my boy, right here. Where'd he go? And my boy, Lucas Walton. The great Lucas Walton and the great Caleb Gray. A very special dedication to you two today. The book breakdown mini seminar. Today's book, Let Them Play, a parenting and coaching guide to youth sports. This is a future New York Times bestseller. Don't wait. Get them while you can. And if you write the author himself, Eric Byrnes, go to ericbyrnes.com and reach out to Enrique Byrnes. And in fact, if you wanted to contact Eric directly to talk to him about potentially putting a package together, a foot boards and books for you, boards and books package, you can reach out to Bernsey directly at area code 650, phone number 743-5182. Tell him Kowalski sent you for the book and board combo pack. And yeah, that's a foot reflexology acupuncture foot board. And also, pick yourself up a book, The Let Them Play, a parenting and coaching guide to youth sports. And also, don't forget to pick yourself up one of these too. The Daily Hustle 222, Life Guidance from a Human Crash Test Dummy. You see the back of the book. Oh man, look at those two. All right, back to the book. The book breakdown mini seminar. Today, chapter 11, Something Bigger. To the book. If the purpose isn't to become an elite athlete, then why work so hard and invest so much? Because the skills, lessons, and characteristics that are learned and honed through sports are difference makers in the quote, game, end quote, of life. Being a part of a team is powerful. There's a proverb that says to go far, go together. But it isn't always easy to be a teammate. Practicing how to put a team first over your own ambitions, learning how to support those that need it, and accepting there will be times when you carry the load and when you are the one that gets picked up. These are all things that will make someone a better person, not just a better athlete. Understanding that work is the path to results is well versed in sports. This will never handicap someone while they pursue their education, career, or anything else outside of sports. All right, let's stop it right there. If you want to go far, go together. If you want to go fast, go alone. The great African proverb that Bernsey and I have been saying on endurance adventures for the greater part of 15 years. Good. Practicing how to put a team first over your own ambitions. Simply said, we over me, right? We over me. Learning how to support those that need it. Sometimes when we've got stuff going on, we got to look outward. We got to stop looking inward and look outward to help support people when they need us. And accepting there will be times when you carry the load and when you are the one that gets picked up. You know, I personally, you know, I tend to go off into the wilderness until I can wrap whatever situation I'm challenged with in this, you know, janky box of optimism. And then once I'm ready to come out of the wilderness, I'll give it back because I'm like, who wants to hear my shit? But then when somebody wants to share their stuff with me, I'm honored by it. So it's my personal journey. You've got to be able to get picked up and do the one doing the picking up too. And make sure you don't sweat the petty, but you pet the sweat. Good. And then he says here, back to the book, these are all things that will make someone a better person, not just a better athlete. Better people make better athletes. Back to the book. Understanding that work is the path to results is well versed in sports. This will never handicap someone while I pursue education, career, or anything else outside of sports. Good. I read it twice because it's important because work wins. And right now, you know, oh, this guy's talented, that guy's talented. Good. Well, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Back to the book. We learn in sports that if you aren't failing, you aren't pushing the line. And that if you do, quote, fail, end quote, you pick yourself up, apply the lesson, listen to the advice, and try again. Stop right there. So we talk all the time, and a lot of athletes that I work with, you guys know we do a well, better, how. What am I doing well? What can I be doing better? And how am I going to do it? Essentially, that's what we're saying. Right here, that's what the author of this future New York Times bestseller, the great Lycée baseball player in the Dominican League, Eric Byrnes, is saying here, that if you do fail, pick yourself up, apply the lesson, listen to the advice, rinse and repeat, try again. Back to the book. Experiencing winning and losing cannot be taught. It must be done. And with those experiences come the practice to make it work for you. That's rich, yeah. Because there is no winning and losing, really. There's only winning and learning. And loss stands for what? Learning, opportunity, stay strong. Good. Back to the book. I'll start a sentence back here. And with those experiences comes the practice to make it work for you. To view it with a positive, balanced mindset and the joy of achieving the goal in spite of the setback. Stop right there for a minute. We talk about this all the time. Don't go putting a period where God's putting a comma. A setback is just a setup for a comeback. Back to the book. The skills a child learns and practices in any sport will support and enable all of their pursuits. Better people make better players. Good. Back to the book. There is no substitute for actually experiencing teamwork, self-discipline, failure, success, and tenacity. As they go through these elements in their development, they gain confidence to use them throughout their life. A loss can't knock them down because they have already experienced that. Let me go back. A loss can't knock them down because they have already experienced that is just a part of something bigger. Ages 1 through 6, early sports development will give young kids more tools to succeed in early education. Remind them that being a part of a unit is powerful, as it's a naturally self-centered time in their development. Ages 7 through 12, experiencing success and failure in sports will empower this age to handle it with confidence as they move forward and go through educational and social growth. It takes a lot of bricks to make a building, and that is what they are doing. Ages 13 and beyond. Now we can talk about how what they are doing at this stage will absolutely shape their future. Sports and their lessons, especially how you respond to them, will be a huge part of higher education, careers, and relationships. Encourage your athletes to invest in themselves. When we go back to ages 7 through 12 here, he says, experiencing success and failure in sports will empower this age to handle it with confidence as they move forward and go through educational and social growth. It takes a lot of bricks to make a building, and that is what they are doing. So when I read that, I think of the one-armed bricklayer from Baghdad, and how did he build the brick wall? He built it one brick at a time. Ages 1 through 6, that's the journey. Make sure you dial it in 1 through 5. That's a really important part of the growth. 13 and beyond. Yeah, how sports can be an analogy for just about everything else in life. The things that sport has given me, my friendships, my relationships, the opportunities I've had. It's the gift that keeps on giving because it's constantly about evolution and growth. And nothing is ever owned. It's rented, and the rent is due every single day. So it begins before it begins. We will be back with Chapter 12 of the future New York Times bestseller, Let Them Play, a parenting and coaching guide to youth sports. Chapter 12 will be the rules. Yes, for those of you who didn't think that Byrnes and I had any, we do. So we'll visit that on the next Mindbender Mental Performance Podcast. Until then, not every day is going to be great, but it don't have to be terrible. You can have a good shitty day, huh? The best is yet to come. See ya.